Silence is not always peace. Sometimes silence is the greatest scream of heaven waiting to be heard. For years, many of you have lived in silence, silent battles, silent heartbreaks, silent nights lying awake wondering if your life has meaning, if anyone sees you, if love will ever come, if God has forgotten your name. Young men, I know what it feels like to walk into a room and feel invisible, to chase after success, money, or validation, only to return home and feel that gnawing emptiness inside. The world has fed you lies that your worth is measured by likes, by women, by possessions. But God has been watching in silence, and today the silence is over. What He just revealed is not a whisper, it is a shockwave. It will shake the world, but more importantly, it will shake you. Because you cannot live another day numb, detached, drifting through the chaos of culture. This is a wake-up call, a prophetic moment. A time to rise from silence into strength, from being unseen to being chosen. And if you lean in, if you dare to listen, this message can set a fire in your soul that no rejection, no heartbreak, no failure can extinguish. You know what's crazy? You can look perfectly fine on the outside, and nobody would ever guess that you're fighting a war inside your own chest. You smile at work, laugh with your friends, maybe even post the perfect picture on social media, and still, when you're alone, you feel like you're carrying a weight that nobody sees. That's the silent war, and let's be honest, most men never talk about it, because culture told us somewhere along the way that silence is strength. Don't cry, don't open up, don't let anyone see your scars, and so you bottle it up. You keep the mask on. You keep pretending you've got it under control, but deep down you know it's eating you alive. This silent war shows up in different ways. For some, it's loneliness. You crave connection, but you don't know how to ask for it. For others, it's rejection. You've been overlooked so many times that you start believing you're not worth choosing. And then there's shame. The memories of mistakes you made, regrets you can't erase, the guilt that whispers you'll never be enough. And here's the truth nobody tells you. Silence is not strength. Silence is decay. Silence is where shame grows, where wounds fester, where you slowly lose yourself. The enemy thrives in silence, because if he can keep you locked in your own head, he doesn't even need chains. But here's the shift. The very moment you bring the war into the light, it loses its grip. Because God didn't design you to fight alone. You were never meant to carry all of it by yourself. Scripture says, "It is not good for man to be alone." And that doesn't just mean marriage. It means life itself. You are wired for connection, for community, for purpose. And I need you to hear this. Feeling broken does not make you weak. It makes you human. The war inside you doesn't disqualify you. It is the very battleground where your strength is forged. You don't become strong by avoiding the pain. You become strong by facing it, by naming it, and by refusing to fight it in silence anymore. So, if you're listening to this right now, and you're tired of pretending, tired of living invisible, this is your wake-up call. The silent war ends when you stop hiding, when you let truth, love, and God's voice break through the noise. That's when you begin to win. Let's be real. The world has lied to you. Every single day, from the moment you wake up, there's a screen, an ad, a voice telling you what makes you valuable. And it always points you outside yourself. It says, buy this, wear this, achieve this, sleep with her, post this, and then finally, you'll be enough. But do you see the trap? It's never enough. You hit the gym, but you're never big enough. You buy the car, but suddenly someone else has more. You get the girl's attention, but it fades. The bar keeps moving. The lie keeps whispering. Almost. Not yet. You're still behind. Culture sells men an identity that can be bought. But God created an identity that can only be given, and that's the difference. The world will sell you an image, but God gives you a name. The world will hand you a mask, but God gives you a mission. Some of you are exhausted right now because you've been chasing the image. You're scrolling, comparing, measuring yourself against a highlight reel that isn't even real, and what it's doing is hollowing out your soul. You've forgotten what real strength feels like because you're chasing the approval of people who don't even know your name. And here's the truth. This isn't just a distraction, it's war. Culture is at war with your soul, and if you don't recognize the lies, you'll believe them. You'll trade the life you were designed to live for an imitation. But hear me on this. When you strip it all back, when you silence the ads, the scrolling, the noise, you'll find something the world can't sell you: peace, purpose, presence, because those things aren't bought, they're lived, and they come from knowing who you are in God, not who you're pretending to be for everyone else. So, the next time you feel that pressure, that voice saying, "You're not enough unless," call it what it is. A lie, and then replace it with truth. You were enough the moment God formed you, and no culture, no rejection, no failure can strip that away. Something dangerous has happened in this generation. Men have forgotten who they are. Masculinity has been twisted, mocked, and misunderstood. Some men shrink back, afraid to lead, afraid to stand firm, afraid to be bold. Others swing the other way, dominating, controlling, proving strength through anger or pride. Both are broken, both are counterfeit, but masculinity, real masculinity, was God's idea. It's not toxic. It's not outdated, it's not domination, it is protection, it is provision, it is presence, it is the steady hand in the storm. And when a man loses his soul, when he forgets that design, the world suffers. Families crumble, communities weaken. Women are left searching for presence but finding only possessions. You see, deep inside every man is the longing to be a warrior and a healer, a protector and a lover, a builder and a comforter, but culture has tried to erase that balance, leaving men confused about who they are. Young men, your soul is crying out for purpose, not just success, for impact, not just applause, for a mission that matters, one that makes you wake up every morning knowing the fight is worth it. And here's the secret. Your masculine soul comes alive not when you dominate, but when you serve. Not when you chase, but when you stand. Not when you silence emotions, but when you channel them. That is strength. The world doesn't need more men pretending. It needs men who remember their soul. And that begins the moment you stop asking, "What does the world want from me?" and start asking, "What did God make me for?" We've been taught that brokenness is the end, that once you've failed, once you've been rejected, once you've been betrayed, you're finished. But in God's hands, brokenness isn't the end, it's the beginning. Think about it. Some of your most powerful memories aren't of your victories, but of your recoveries. The times you fell flat on your face, thought it was over, and somehow stood up again, that's where strength is forged. Every scar tells a story, and if you're brave enough to own your scars instead of hiding them, they can heal not just you, but the people around you. Because vulnerability is contagious. When you say, "Yes, I've been hurt, but I'm still here," you give permission for others to do the same. Your wounds can become weapons. Your pain can become power. And that heartbreak you thought ruined you, it can become the soil where compassion grows. So don't despise your brokenness. Don't run from it. Don't bury it. Bring it into the light. Put it in God's hands, because the very cracks in your heart can be the places where His light shines through. Let's talk about women, about relationships, about love. Because so many men are lost here, you think if you just get the right car, the right status, the right look, then she'll notice you. But here's the truth. Women don't crave your possessions. They crave your presence. A woman doesn't fall in love with a bank account. She falls in love with how safe she feels with you, with how you listen, with how you show up consistently, not just when you want something. But here's the kicker. You can't offer presence if you're absent from your own life, if you're numb, distracted, scrolling, hiding in silence. She'll feel it. Because presence is power, and it's rare. You want to stand out, be present, be grounded, be the man who can sit across from someone, look them in the eye and say, "I'm here, I see you." That's magnetic. That's what makes love last. Everything we've talked about leads here. The silent war, the lies, the forgotten soul, the brokenness, the search for connection. It all comes to this question. Who are you building your life on? If it's applause, you'll crumble when it fades. If it's possessions, you'll collapse when they break. If it's relationships, you'll fall when they leave. But if it's God, if your foundation is Him, then nothing can shake you. Not rejection, not failure, not heartbreak, not even silence. Becoming unshakable doesn't mean you never fall. It means you know who lifts you when you do. It means you stand anchored when the storm comes, and the storm will come. Young men, this generation doesn't need more noise. It needs unshakable men, men who walk into chaos and bring calm. Men who build families, businesses, communities on truth, not lies. Men who are remembered not for what they bought, but for what they gave. That's the call, that's the mission, that's what makes life worth living. The silence is over. You've carried battles in secret, but today God has spoken. You are seen, you are chosen, and you are called. Don't walk away unchanged. Take one step today. Speak, heal, connect, lead, become unshakable. And if this message hit your heart, don't stay silent. Like this video, comment your story below, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe because this is not the end. This is the beginning of a movement. Together we rise, together we break the silence.